Hello and welcome to my weekly blog. I have in fact already filmed this blog once, but somehow the file got corrupted, as occasionally happens, which means I have to do it all over again. So if I'm a bit pickled, it's probably because I can't remember quite what I said last time and what I'm going to say this time. Do you know, I remember speaking to you last week, there you go, see, last week, about the fact that there's going to be a lot of things going on later this year. Some of them life-changing and most of them revolving around the 5-year plan. And none of that has changed. There will still be some great events going on this year, hopefully, as the 5-year plan enters its last sort of year and a half. But there will also be other things, and they are things that I can't talk about right now, but things that are equally life-changing in a way, I suppose, or certainly great anniversaries, great events. You will remember that that last year was the decade marker for my Annus Horribilis. This year, in the summer, marks the decade of the largest war that I've ever fought, and all the repercussions of that, which are equally as great as the Annus Horribilis, but in a different way. And I won't necessarily say more positive, but certainly a different way. So that is something to look forward to. The Rome holiday has been booked and completely paid for now, so that is another thing that we will look forward to. I'm going to the bird show again this year, with bonus money again, so that is something that looks to be good as well. There's a lot that's going to happen in the next 12 months. A lot of people that I know as well will be affected by various different changes. Change is something that is difficult to cope with because it throws an air of uncertainty at you whilst you're going through it. It's okay before and after, but going through change can be not easy, particularly as we are, by nature, I think, creatures of habit. We like some sort of stability, which can produce habits, shall we say. And I think that the boat is going to be rocked in many areas of my life this year, in many areas of our family's life, and in many areas of people that I know as well. It's one of those years where it looks like things will completely change. There have been years of promise before. I can't think just offhand, but I can find out, in fact, because I'll keep talking. It doesn't matter that you're looking at an empty chair, does it really? Makes no difference, I suppose, to some of you. One of the things that I have done over the past 18 years is keep a tally of the years, and of which years were good and which years were bad, and the likes of that. In this, which is my book of records. My book of records is drawn from my diary, my journal, and in fact my journal will pass 18 full years very shortly. That's another thing that we'll be able to celebrate, as will my passing 5 years of keeping birds. That will pass as well. If I have a look, you'll have to bear with me a moment. Yes. Generally, I have split my my years into sort of categories. So we have the years that are stemming from both of them stem from my Annus Mirabilis, which was my great year in 1998. Jubilee years are based on a biblical principle that 1 in every 7 years, or rather the 7th year, is in some way good or meaningful. And the other years, I've got 3. Now, if we look at 2014, we'll find that it is one of those 3rd years, which is interesting. Other years that are featured on the same would be 99, 2002, 2005, 2008 and 2011. But those aren't in themselves years of promise. Years of promise are they're more random. They are years in which things fall into place and change rapidly. My first year of promise that I can remember was the millennial year. I started that year in Lincoln. I started it at school, and by the end of the year our family had relocated to Harrogate, and I had done a semester at university, and it was one of those where you start and end the year in a completely different place. So years of promise don't turn up very often. I've only had 2. The other one was 2008 was the other one. So 2000 and 2008, that's an 8-year gap, and only 2 years in the whole thing. I suppose I could be wrong, and things could go catastrophically out of the window. All the big events I could think of might fall apart in some way or be cancelled or something like that, and we may not get anywhere in the 5-year plan this year, and it could be a complete disaster. That's always a possibility. I'm no sort of prophet in terms of being able to foresee the future or anything like that, but what I do see is that things now and things as they will be in December are going to be absolutely, completely and utterly different. As far as I have to consider, all things considered, that is what I think. Now, hopefully, it will be a year of promise for you as well. I'm not going to say it's going to be an easy year. I think it's going to be an extremely hard year. There are going to be things that have to be faced. But I do believe strongly, particularly after some of the news that I've had today, that this is going to be my 3rd year of promise. First, I have one fighter down for this week, Andy Main, who I think is fighting right at the very start of February. The birthdays this week then, let's have a look. I have to say, I can't keep track of everybody's birthday. It's true. I have don't know how many Facebook friends, quite a few. But Facebook, when you sign up as a Facebook user, you can put your date of birth in, and if you do that, when you get friends with somebody, they will be alerted to your birthday. So that's how I know. In case somebody thinks I have an absolutely, miraculous brain. I do, but not quite that miraculous. So, the birthdays this week, and there are quite a few of them. Cortez Coleman, who I met, in fact, back in 2009. Tim Boach. Shell Gill. Chris Lozano. Rob Kimmons. Diego Lima. Aaron Wilkinson, where are we? Jason Butcher, Jared Papazian, Anne Strickland, Grace Fern, Riccardo Tialoni and Felipe Nova all have their birthdays this week. So many happy returns to all of them.